with Telemundo. My question is for Director Rodriguez.
What's your name again?
Rita Avery. My concern, first of all, is to Chief Conti. Welcome. My concern is the police officers.
Yes, ma'am.
To be trained. Are they going to train them mentally and physically where they can handle situations and get back in shape? Also, the senior citizens, I'm very concerned about them as well as children. Safety.
All right. Thank you, Chief. That's a note that we need to focus on physical and mental health, which the Chief in all of this has reminded me, not just for our community, which is under a lot of anxiety due to COVID, but our police officers are as well. And he's very focused on how to make sure all of our police officers have access to the help that they need and that they ask for that help. Okay. Yes, Stephanie.
Is there any more information that your office has on the vetting process for National Guard members? If that is not completed in time, will those members be told to sit out, or will they be allowed to work inauguration security? And then a follow-up question for Events DC.
Sure.
Okay.
So the first question was, if a person isn't vetted, will they be here or not? And Chris, I think you can speak to that process. And then, Elliot, there's a question for you.
Thanks for the question, Stephanie. So a lot of the vetting and the background investigations that happen through the National Guard occur when they become members. And so that vetting can take place while they're in their home states before they deploy. And not speaking to specific investigations, is that those questions would have to be referred to the National Guard and the FBI, but that's our understanding of the process.
Is what kind of battle you're up against, because with the world looking at DC, while there are many amazing neighborhoods and places, many have been seeing rioting, businesses boarding up over and over again, places set on fire, churches, banners burned, and now militarization here in the capital. What kind of battle are you up against to bring back business and bring back business?
Okay, I think your question is what type of circumstances am I up against in terms of promoting DC based on what the global community is seeing on the news. I think the reality is that, as a world-class destination, we're not the first major city that has unfortunately had circumstances similar to what we're dealing with now. I think there are concerns from a global perspective and domestic perspective in terms of what they're seeing, and those are rightfully so concerns that these individuals might have about what's happening in Washington. I think we're looking at it through a long-term perspective, and unfortunately, because of the pandemic, tourism to Washington has really been compromised already. So as we're looking at recovery from an international perspective, which is usually the audience that normally looks at something that's happening like right now and shows more concern about travel, we'll have an opportunity to rebound, if you will, simply because with the new administration, with Chief Conti, with our mayor and others making safety and security a priority, that will be extremely important as we're promoting DC as a destination. The other reality too is that you're seeing similar things happen in other state capitals around the U.S., which is a reason for concern. And those are the comments that we're getting from our offices. I think that this has happened in other global cities. So unfortunately, there is a precedent for this. The question is what happens next? And I think that's what we're going to be focusing on as we get back to normal in terms of getting beyond the pandemic and getting beyond what's happening in the city now with the inauguration. So we're extremely optimistic. I also happen to chair the U.S. Travel Association, and in that capacity, we focus on safety, security, and other measures tied to travel to the U.S. on a regular basis. So these are things in which we're focusing on right now.
Okay, yeah. Do you anticipate ending the indoor dining pause on January 22nd still?
I don't have anything to announce about that today, Mitch. Okay, we'll take two more, Mark, and then Elizabeth.
Just very off topic for T. I'm wondering if you have any information. We heard
word about a body found near Fletcher's Boathouse today. Do you have any information on that?
Yeah, it appears that it was a homeless individual, about 60 years of age, possibly died of natural causes. Obviously, that has to be investigated, but right now it does not appear any foul play or anything like that is involved.
Was he in the water, or was he in the land, in the woods, or do you know anything about?
I'm told that he had an encampment near the water.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Elizabeth?
People arrested or charged in the Capitol riots been charged with crimes in
Any, Chief, the question was, were any of the rioters charged with DC crimes, local DC crimes?
No, the majority of these folks that are being arrested are charged at the federal level, so they're in district court.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Isn't Ward 6 beautiful?
We now return to our previously scheduled program, already in progress.
My name is Dr. Unique Morris Hughes, and I'm the Director of the Department of Employment Services. And today I'll be sharing instructions on how to file an unemployment insurance claim with the District of Columbia. District employees may file for unemployment compensation at dcnetworks.org, and we suggest using Internet Explorer.